This video was made possible by EA Game Changers.
Hi guys!
Hey everyone!
Welcome to Make 2. The Sims Mobile has changed a lot since we last talked to you about it. In this video, we're going to give you our latest thoughts on this upcoming addition to the Sims franchise.
Thanks as always to EA, who recently invited us to Sims Camp at their headquarters, and gave us early access to a whole new version of the game.
Sims Mobile is still not released in all countries yet, and we can't say when exactly it will happen, but we know the developers are still making changes based on feedback, and every version we've seen has been different.
The game we're showing in this video is the same version available in some territories right now, but the final worldwide version may work a little differently.
So we're going to talk about what's changed since our previous videos about The Sims Mobile, so if you missed those, check out the links in the video description, then pop back here.
Okay, changes. The good news is the developers clearly listened to the people who've been playing the early releases. They've made lots of positive changes which all add up to a more solid game that feels more like The Sims and should make the game more fun.
At the same time, the core of the game's mechanics are still the same. The graphics still look great, Create a Sim is still awesome, but in our view there are also still two things about the game where we'd like to see some changes: build mode and the variety of gameplay.
Okay, before we get into any negatives, let's talk about the changes we like.
One of our biggest issues with the first version we reviewed on the channel was the rapid and certain death of your Sims after about 2 weeks. This has been completely redone in a good way. You can now keep your Sims around as long as you like. You don't ever need to retire anyone. It's completely optional. In fact, it's totally locked and can't be done at all until you hit level 18 or so.
This is a really great change and one we think many people are going to be really happy about. That being said, retiring a Sim is still a key part of the game. It's the only way to level up the next generation. Want to get your Sims earning more faster? Want to unlock certain career levels? You need one Sim to die and pass on their skills to the next.
We haven't been able to play that stuff yet, but we will after the worldwide release. I can definitely see me retiring Sims often, but being able to choose when to do so and to whom at least puts the players in control of this.
Another area that has seen big improvements is how the game helps players get into its rhythm. Like other free-to-play games, it now gives you a list of daily goals. These are a great way to earn bonuses of in-game currency, stay focused on a good mix of tasks, and get more familiar with the different parts of the game, from parties to work shifts to socializing.
So what are we still hoping for? Well, in our last video we spoke about Sims games giving us 3 different playing experiences: creating households of Sims and controlling their lives, having our Sims interact with other Sims, and building cool buildings for these Sims to live and work in.
Like we said in that earlier video, The Sims Mobile aims to deliver on all of these things, but in our opinion, building was the weakest part of the game. This is still our opinion in the latest version.
Yep, upgrading your house or a place of work still feels like it's too limited and too dependent on your Sims leveling up to unlock things that you need and want. There also didn't seem to be much change in how building mode looks in the latest version we saw, but we still have hope for improvements in the final version.
Our other main issue with the game is about how the playing experience can feel really repetitive. The basic mechanics of gameplay are still focused on events, which are one of the main ways to earn currency and XP.
There are also mini quests to unlock abilities and activities, but those are more like lists of things to do and buy, and they're not really based on storytelling.
Okay, so you've got these events, and these events are made up of actions. Most actions your Sims do use up one or more little blip of energy. This is simpler than the earlier version we played, and in definitely a good way.
Yeah, once your Sim's energy runs down, you can refresh it immediately using household objects like a bed or a shower, or cupcakes, or you can wait through a period of real time. It takes something like 45 minutes for a Sim's energy to fully recharge, so you have to think a little strategically about what actions to take to complete your event or reach your goal as efficiently as possible.
The developers have introduced an extra dimension to events now. As you work through an event, your Sim gets more and more confident. The more confident they get, the more likely they'll be to pull off a risky action that gains them loads of extra event points, and has cool cutscenes too.
This adds a little more complexity to your strategic gameplay. It's pretty cool, but we hope it'll get refined a bit further. We felt like it was hard to make much use of it more than once per event because sometimes the risky action just doesn't succeed, or the sim loses confidence or energy before they can try again. Or the sim's confidence builds up enough that you want to try a risky action, but you've already finished the event and that confidence level does not get passed on to another event.
That being said, confidence and risk-taking are good ways to spice up gameplay, and they do make it feel less repetitive as your barista wipes down endless tables or your chef serves up never-ending appetizers. We just wish it went a little bit further.
Yeah, as spices go, I would put this as more like a dash of oregano rather than a healthy dollop of hot sauce. But there are other new herbs and spices in the Sims Mobile mix to help enhance the flavors from the earlier versions, and I'm gonna stop with all of this cooking analogy now.
Okay, so your Sims and NPCs now have little thought bubbles to give us glimpses into what's going on in their little heads. It feels a little raw and random, but it feels more like the PC game at least.
And you can give your Sims traits that give them bonuses at different things, like being faster at gaining XP or being better at careers, and this is something else you can strategize about.
Another good thing, it's now clearer what rewards you will get from different events.
The game also guides you through what is going to get unlocked as you level up in a really clear way.
And the in-game tutorial now feels more light touch, coming in at different points over your first few days of gameplay in a helpful way rather than a long process at the start.
So there is lots to like with the new version of The Sims Mobile. We think a lot of you non-builders are going to really love the game. It's gorgeous, super accessible, has fun actions and things to do, but like we said earlier, we still think building and decorating are not that fun.
We also think the game still lacks the weirdness, the soul, the randomness that we love about The Sims. The game is easy to play, but like we said, it still feels like we're seeing the same kind of actions and animations over and over and over.
Yeah, we just love to see The Sims occasionally doing something on their own, like going to sit down instead of just standing and staring into space until we make them do something.
But this is a free mobile game, of course, and they can't have as much complexity as the more powerful PC games. Still, we're looking forward to sinking our teeth into the final version as soon as it's available worldwide.
So for now, let us know what you think of the changes in the game in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to stay up to date with Sims Mobile and everything else going on with our channel, please feel free to subscribe.
Thanks for watching.